Welcome back. Let's get chatting with the management of Supriya Lifesciences. Remember, the stock has been a big mover ever since its IPO. They've reported their quarterly numbers, a strong show in the first quarter on both a year-on-year basis. But, sequentially, we've seen the numbers come off a tad bit, which is why perhaps we're seeing some decline in the stock price. Geopolitical tensions, delay in raw material supply may have stalled growth in the quarter gone by. To discuss the fine print and, more importantly, the outlook going forward, we have a couple of spokespeople from the company, CMD Satish Wagh, as well as the whole-time director, Saloni Wagh, joining in. Thanks a lot, Satish and Saloni, for joining in. 82% sort of revenues coming in from exports. How many products of yours, Satish, currently are backward integrated? And what's the target by the end of this year?
Good morning. Overall, if you see, we manufacture 35 APIs where we are already strong in 11 products where we have totally backward integrated.
And going forward, are you looking to increase your backward integration from here?
See, Supriya from the beginning for last couple of years, we have never depending upon any China products or any second source product. We make each and every intermediate from the basic chemistry at our plant, and we would like to go ahead to continue that in the future also.
Okay, all right. Hi, Mr. Wagh and Ms. Wagh as well. Thanks so much for joining and good to speak to you all after a while. Well, you all have a substantial portion of your money that comes in from exports. And there has been some kind of delays in various consignments globally. What about for your company? Was there any delay in any consignment? I asked this because I'm trying to get a sense of how Q2 can shape up. So one, was there any delay of any consignment? Could you put a value to it? And also, was it the margin accretive consignment that got delayed? Go ahead.
Yes, there has been some delay that we saw in Q4 of last year. Because of which certain consignments couldn't move. It did have a minor impact on the margin, but I wouldn't say too much of it because we have seen that across various quarters, it sort of gets averaged out. And if you see our Q4, our performance was extremely good. So as such, it has not impacted us greatly. But because of lockdowns across China, the war situation, yes, some delays are anticipated in the shipments.
No, I'm asking about the past quarter, Saloni. You have done close to around 101 crores odd. Now, in the past quarter, was there any delay? Was there a 20-30 crore delay of revenues? Because that revenue will get reflected in Q2, which could make Q2 look very, very good. So, could you tell us if that was the case? Go ahead.
So instead of putting any value to the consignments that have been delayed, yes, there was a delay because China being one of our key markets for antihistamine therapeutic segment, and because of the lockdowns happening there because of COVID, we couldn't ship 1 or 2 consignments there. You will definitely see a slightly better Q2, but that is also because of the nature of the products that we have. Q2 and Q4 are usually strong for the company. But yes, Q2 would definitely be slightly stronger because of slightly delayed consignments which have not gone in this quarter.
What exactly is the capacity utilization that you're functioning at right now? Because I see you having increased your, having announced an increase in your capacity from 547 KL to about 810 KL. What is your current capacity utilization? And once this new capacity comes on stream, what's the likely revenue from the products?
So currently the capacity utilization is at about 72%. The 800 KL that you're referring to actually is under construction. 547 KL is completely live and we are operating on a commercial scale. The balance of it would be commercialized towards end of this year. So it is still under construction. Once definitely the new block comes in and the capacity doubles, you'll see a good growth. If you look at our historical growth of revenue, we have done about 24 to 30% in the last 4 years. If you look at our Q1 also as compared to the last quarter of FY22, we have shown a 32% growth in revenue. So you can anticipate similar kind of growth going forward with the new capacity coming in.
Okay, all right. And you're saying this additional capacity comes on stream in Q4?
Yes, in Q4 of this year, FY23.
Okay, all right. Now let's get to a couple of numbers, Saloni. As you said, you all have been growing at a good clip. So for FY23, you won't get the benefit fully of this additional capacity. But should we be working with revenues of close to around 650 crores? Would that be a fair estimate from around that 530 crores that you did last year? And more importantly, what about the margin outlook, Saloni? It's been all over the place, fluctuating between 30 to around 40%. What should be the steady state margins that you're looking at, given that input costs have cooled off, freight costs as well have cooled off a little bit? Go ahead.
Correct. So while I can't, confirm any figure, we are guided by regulation, but definitely, like I said, the company has been showing around a 24% growth in revenue. So you can anticipate that for this year as well on the revenue that we have done for last year. As far as margins is concerned, historically also, if you look at our margins, we have done about 38 to 40%. We have always said that please look at the average of all 4 quarters, because for the company, quarter 2 and quarter 4 are usually higher as compared to quarter 1 and quarter 3. In the entire year, I think we would still be able to maintain the same healthy EBITDA margins that we have shown historically.
And the top line, you said 20-25% growth is what you all have done. You want to maintain that run rate, right?
Correct.
Got it.
24% is what we have shown for the last 4 years, and we would be able to maintain that going forward as well. We are very confident on that.
All right, we take that point. Satish, you did speak about, or the company is increasing their manufacturing capabilities, etc. What about new products? I mean, top 3 products account for over 50% of your sales. How do you plan to diversify, into newer products? How much do they account for your sales right now? What will they be going forward? That's one. And newer markets as well. Are you looking at some more regulated markets from here on?
See, let me tell you, currently almost we have reached to 128 countries, and most of the regulated markets we already have entered. The market which was lacking was United States of America, US. Now those markets we already started tapping. Some of our products which we have cleared last financial year, the validation batches were going on, and now the actual manufacturing has been started, and that particular the amount will definitely come into our current revenue sources. That will be second quarter and the fourth quarter.
A sense of what that amount could be? How much is the opportunity for you from the US?
So let me tell you, opportunities are huge, because many of the companies are looking at India to buy the intermediates and the raw materials also, that the API also.
No, we get that point. We get that point. I was just saying,
opportunities which I see.
You said that in the second quarter onwards, you will see some revenue coming in. What would that number be?
See, I won't be able to tell you the number, but that number growth will be definitely substantially good. And I promise that whatever we have promised in the past, we will try to continue the same.
Okay, all right. As you all speak, you're giving us this guidance. The stock has seen a bit of a recovery from the low point of the day as well. So clearly, the markets are listening into what you all have to say. But the big focus really is, and what the market really wants to know is about the Cramps business. You all have been talking about foraying into that division. I think in the next couple of years, you're expecting a higher contribution coming out of here. So what is the status update? If you could tell us, is there any movement on that front? And are there any big contracts maybe that should start getting factored in terms of FY24 numbers? Go ahead.
Correct. So if you know, typically a Cramps business takes about 3 to 4 years to sort of commercialize, and you can see a good impact on the revenue.
Yes.
We were still in initial stages, where the validation batches have been done. 2-3 good projects are already started. We have completed the validation batches. I think you should be able to see good output from these Cramps project, I would say quarter 1 of next year. Because we'll still be just scaling up these projects till about Q4 of financial year FY23. So I think from next year onwards, you should be able to see good contribution coming in from Cramps.
Quarter 1 FY24.
Correct.
All right. And how do you see this business scaling up, Saloni? Because this is the big trigger for the stock. Do you see it contributing substantially to your total revenues? As you said, 3-4 years of the hard work has already been put in. Now approvals are coming through, etc. How large can the Cramps business be for Supriya Life Sciences?
I think definitely it will be very large, because we are building capacity, anticipating the good volumes that we are discussing with multiple companies. Like our CMD said, that a lot of these American companies, European companies are looking for advanced intermediate supply from good Indian manufacturers. And because we are a good CGMP compliant manufacturer, we have 2-3 very large volume based contracts ongoing. So I think going forward in the next 3 or 4 years, significant impact you'll be able to see on our
Could you
revenue
quantify
from
that
these
significant
CMO,
impact?
CDMO
Yeah,
kind of projects.
could you tell us, would it be what, 10%, 15%, 20%, maybe a little more than 20% for your overall revenue mix? Can you give us a sense of what this could be?
So I wouldn't be able to give you an exact number, but yes, a ballpark figure would be somewhere around that range. But that would take around 2 to 3 years going forward, because like I said, these projects definitely take a long time because these are multinational companies.
Right.
And once you get approved, it's a very long-term business.
20%
so it would
is
take 2
the
3
range.
years, but
Yeah.
definitely somewhere in that range.
20% or thereabouts,
Yeah,
right?
should be.
Correct.
And even, even my recent visit to Latin America, I have seen that tremendous opportunities have been discussed in Brazil and Mexico markets.
Okay.
They are also changing their rules and regulations in regulatory area.
Okay.
And there is a great opportunity for the new manufacturer as a second source, because the first source is almost 10 years back has been decided.
Okay.
But now the rules and regulations which they are regulatory changing,
So-
looking for a second source with the CGMP factors.
Okay.
So once that is over within next 3-4 months, I am quite confident number of percentage in this area will also increase, because they are also becoming regularly very cautious now.
So in next 3-4 years could contribute 20% to your total revenues, right? That's the number. So by FY, say by FY
100%.
by FY 26 or
Correct.
Yeah.
by FY 20?
Somewhere in that range.
Just back of an envelope calculation, you should be doing around 900 to around 1,000 crores. So maybe in the vicinity of around 200 crores or thereabouts could be from this business. But that discussion for another day. Thanks so much for joining in and giving us all those details. We look forward to chatting up with you all in the next quarter as well. Well, we'll slip
Thank
into
you
a
so
short
much.
break
Thank you for having us.
Thank
on that note, and we'll come back. We'll continue focusing on a whole host of stocks.